Hey guys, I was actually going to do this little video for people that I coach, but I thought, you know what, this thing I'm about to share is the biggest game changer that I've found, and I wanted to share it with everybody. So I hope you don't mind. I'm just going to go live on my own Facebook and just share this. So I want to tell you a little bit about my experience, and I think that hopefully maybe you've had the same kind of experience. Hey Heather. So growing up, I ate whatever I wanted, right? Just going through life, enjoying it. And then as I became an adult and things start slowing down, hey Ben, I start paying more attention to like, oh, maybe I should eat healthier. Maybe I shouldn't eat pizza every meal, although I would still love to, right? All these different things. And so I started looking into nutrition. I started reading some books and reading articles. And here's the really hard thing is you get nutrition information everywhere and it all conflicts, right? You get things from whatever the latest fad diet is. You get things from the USDA. What's really interesting is actually the USDA, when it was first formed, there was a problem in our country. One, the food industry needed to be regulated. And two, people were dying from not eating enough. They were dying from malnutrition. So it made sense to create this, hey Sharon, to create this entity that regulates the food industry and tells us nutrition information and so forth. Well, now we are dying from diseases caused from eating too much. And so now we have this weird conflict. Anyway, food politics is like amazing to me. I want to get this thing out so I can show you. Anyway, so as I've gotten older and had kids and my body has changed, hey Nicole, of course, then suddenly I realized I need to actually like put fuel in my body, eat better, all this, and trying to figure out what to do. So calorie counting is really like one of the most basic things about nutrition, right? Figuring out how many calories you need, figuring out how many you need to be deficit to not only fuel but your body, but also lose weight and all this stuff. So, you know, I calculate that, and there's a lot of different apps out there, and I used to do that. I'd go to the gym, and then I used this app that had all these foods in it to calculate calories, and I realized that there were two huge problems, and I had these, hey Sarah, I had these two huge problems that came up from calorie counting, and I couldn't find a solution, and the solution, honestly, basically fell in my lap. So the first problem of calorie counting is that it takes a lot of effort unless you're going to eat packaged food that has it right there for you. You know, if I'm going to make my own, I'm about to make lunch in just a minute, and I'm going to actually demonstrate something here. If I'm going to make like a little fajita, so I'm going to make like a little fajita here. And if I want to make that, I have to calculate how many calories are in mushrooms, bell peppers, onion, cheese, chicken breast, a tortilla, the oil that I use, and I have to figure out how much I actually used and figure it out from there, right? Like that's a pain. It's a pain in the butt. And some of the apps have some of the stuff, but not a lot. They really cater to restaurants and packaged food, right? Because those are more regulated. So I was finding that I was spending a lot of time trying to figure that out, or I would just wait till the end of the day, and then I would, I just calculate it all out, and I realized, oh, well, crap, I ate like way too much food, right? The other problem I found was that food is not just calories. Calories is like this very small little measurement. In fact, the way that they figure out how many calories, it just has to do with energy stored in the food. It's not even like, they're not even sure how like accurate it is to like our bodies and things like that. There's a lot of kind of questionable things about whether or not like how accurate it is. But the other thing is that your body is more than just an energy burner. You have all these hormones that react to your food, right? Your body, sorry, my dog's going crazy. Your body releases insulin to deal with sugars, right? And that insulin its job is to store energy, right? And then you have leptin, which is, its job is to burn energy. It also tells you when you're hungry. And so you have all these hormones, they're doing things. And if you eat chicken, it's going to do something different than if you're eating a piece of bread, which is going to do something different if it's how much fiber is in it, if it's whole wheat, or if you're eating ice cream. So the other problem I found was I started doing things like, well, I have so many calories per meal, and so this meal, I really want some ice cream. I'm admitting that this is in my freezer, although I ate my half and the other half is for my husband. So I look at it and go, okay, well, half of this is 620 calories, so, well, maybe I'll just like skip lunch and I'll just eat this instead, right? Because calories are calories. Or you go to the store, right, and they have like those little packs. I'm gonna put it back in the fridge. They have those little packs that are like Oreos, 150 calories and all this. You can eat anything. You can sell anything if you're a food company. Hey, Kim. And you just focus on calories, right? Because you can fit anything into calories. But the problem is your body's not going to treat that the same way. To have a healthy, steady weight loss for me is 1,700 calories. I will tell you, if I eat 1,700 calories of ice cream, I am not going to be losing weight, period, right? So there's so much more to that. And so then it's like, well, okay, now I'm starting to try to decide like percentages of protein and carbohydrates and fat and how am I eating this and how am I eating that, and it becomes so overwhelming that it's like, screw it, I'm going to eat whatever I want and whatever, right? So that's when those were the problems that I saw. There's some other problems to it as well. Like your body doesn't have, I hear this all the time, and I used to think this too. Okay, I need 1,700 calories in a day, and so I knew I was going to a party that night, and so I would like eat almost nothing all day long and then eat a whole bunch like your body doesn't have this little timer like, oh, it's midnight. Where's my little calorie deficit? Oh, am I over? No, it's just all day long, right? So here's the cool thing that I found. I had a friend, this was actually several years ago, I had a friend who all of a sudden I noticed was like looking a lot happier and a lot more fit and like had a lot more energy, and I was like, what are you doing? So she told me about this exercise program she's doing. It's actually one of the ones that I use in my coaching, and I was really looking at it for the exercise part, but there was this eating program that went with it. And what's funny is a lot of people, even that I coach, and I'm going to share this with them too, a lot of people are scared of it for two reasons. One, it gives you a lot of food, and they feel like they should be eating almost nothing and be starving all the time to lose weight, which is actually not true. Your body's going to hold on to all those calories if you and all that fat if you don't eat enough, because it thinks you're starving, and then when you do eat a lot, it's going to like hold on to it even more, right? Either that or they feel like it's really daunting and confusing, but seriously, this is the most amazing thing ever. So I'm going to turn my camera around. I'm going to try to avoid showing you my really dirty kitchen and just the really clean part. So let me flip this around. Okay, so this is what these are. They're so cool. They're just little portion containers. Hey, Beth. And they just tell you basically how much of what to eat. That's it. So you figure out, there's like a little thing, and this comes with the programs that I use in my coaching. I think a lot of people get confused of what I do as coaching. I'm not a personal trainer at all. Trainers who are like certified and nutritionists that are certified, they put these all together. Hey, Amy. And my job is I help you with your goals. So really, I'm like a goal coach, and I help you figure out what your goals are and what you need help with and all of that, and it's pretty awesome. I love it. Anyway, so this helps you figure out how many calories you need and all this stuff. And then basically what it tells you, so I'm in this one, I'm in the 1,700 calorie range based on the program I'm doing. And that's the other cool thing is it changes depending on your program, right? If I'm doing bodybuilding, I'm going to have a lot more carbs because carbs grow muscle. Protein not fixes, repairs muscle. Right, so they're going to be a little bit different, but for this program, it tells me how many of each I get throughout the day. So then I just spread them out throughout the day. I don't have to count calories or anything. So I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to, with one hand, hopefully, I'm going to make my lunch. So this is a teaspoon. Now, I only have one hand, so I'm going to eyeball it. It's better to actually measure it out. Okay, so I'm going to put that in. And then this is my veggie container. And this is the other thing is a lot of people see this and they go, oh, okay, here's my chicken, put it down. And then like a little yellow container of rice and put it next to it, and then broccoli. No, like this isn't confusing. Do you use measuring cups? If you use measuring cups, that's all this is, right? So here's my veggies. It's actually a little overloaded. I'm okay with overloading on veggies. Okay, so I have my veggies. This is really hard to do with one hand. Okay, so I have my veggies, and my chicken's already cooked. I like to cook up a bunch of chicken at the beginning of the week. Of course, I don't have anything to stir it with at the moment. Right, that's it. So I'm going to let this cook a little bit. I have my cheese. Like, that's actually quite a bit of cheese. I'm going to dump it on. I'll probably put some seasoning on it. And then I have over here tortilla. Now, that should be whole wheat. Shame on me, but I like my white tortillas. Okay, and that's it. And I'll just let that cook up. I'll put it on there. And then here's the best part. So I have yet to count any calories. I just use measuring cups the same way I would anyway. I go in my app and I go, okay, so this is lunch. I had 1 veggie, 1 protein, 1 carb for the tortilla. I had 1 healthy fat, which is the cheese, and I had 1 oil, 1 teaspoon oil. Done. And then look, it changes the counts. Now I know how much I have left today. So now I can kind of reassess and go, okay, for lunch I need to make sure, or for a snack, I need to make sure I probably have like a veggie and a fruit. And then dinner I could use the rest of it. Things like that. That's it. I have yet to count any calories. I didn't have to it took me maybe like 10 extra seconds out of my day. Sorry, I have to actually watch my food now. That is all it is. It's like the easiest thing in the world. And it's changed my life because I've used them long enough, like even when I stopped doing the exercise programs for a while there, I still use this because I know visually what it looks like now when I dump it on a plate because I've done it so many times. That let's say I go to a potluck at someone's house. Well, I can kind of eyeball a little bit, or to a restaurant and go, okay, about this much of a yellow, about this much, hey Sequoia, about this much of protein, this much, and I can still portion out my stuff and estimate it when I need to. I also use this on like holidays, so like Thanksgiving, I would just have a plate full of stuffing topped with gravy if I could, but instead, even though stuffing is like full of fat and all this other stuff, I can at least portion it out a little bit better and say, okay, here's about a yellow container worth of stuffing, here's about a red container worth of protein, of turkey or ham or whatever you're having, right? And then I just like give myself a limit on desserts. Like, okay, I'm going to have 1 slice of pie or whatever. I also do this when I go to Disneyland. So I'm an orchestra director and I go to Disneyland once a year. It's like the best perk of my job. And so when I'm doing that, sorry, I'm looking down because I don't want to burn my food. So when I do that in the park. So even though it's like not whole wheat and it's not whatever, I at least get closer to my portions and I get more vegetables than I would otherwise. So then I can enjoy myself there, but I keep my portions at least somewhat under control. And it doesn't, I'm not carrying around the little containers or anything. So the little containers I'm talking about. It's just, I've done it enough that when I'm away from my house, I can just eyeball it. So anyway, that's the program, that's the thing that has changed my life, because it is like the easiest thing in the world. I don't ever have to count calories. It keeps me within my calorie limit, and it is a little bit of a range, because you don't want the exact same every day, because that's going to keep your metabolism going, right? And you can spread it throughout the day. It's so flexible. People are like, oh, but I don't eat like nothing but chicken and vegetables. Well, yeah, I get carbs. I get healthy fats. I can eat all those things, right? In fact, it even has like some treat conversions. You want to have popcorn, or you want to have some dark chocolate or whatever. What does that count as? And so if you use measuring cups, that's all it is. It's just measuring cups. I've been able to revamp pretty much any recipe, unless it has a cream sauce. that doesn't work quite as well. But pretty much anything else, I've been able to convert it where, like, I love hash. So instead of using like a whole potato or two with tons of oil and like a sprinkling of bell pepper, now, because I have those portion things, I do like one of those yellows, about half a cup of sweet potato, right? It has a little more fiber to it, a little more nutrients to it, and then a whole green cup of different kinds of veggies. So now it's a little more veggie based. Top it with 2 fried eggs and some hot sauce and whatever, a little less oil. So it's still the same like comfort food, it's just revamped. Anyway, that is my my aha, amazing, life-changing thing that I now have, a tool that I now have that I can use. Let me know if you're interested in it. I would love to hear from you. What do you like about this system? What do you think would be nice about using it? And yeah, like it's cool. And I love that each workout program I do, it's revamped a little bit depending on what the goal of the program is, right? Which is really cool too. And if you don't want to lose weight, you can just do it maintaining your weight, or if you want to gain weight, you can use this when you're pregnant, you can use this when you're nursing, you can use this if you're paleo, you can use this if you're vegetarian or vegan, right? Like, it works for all of it. It's pretty cool. Hey, Lynn. Anyway, I hope you guys have an awesome day. I would love to hear from you. If you'll just comment either hi when you watch it, or tell me, like, what do you think is really interesting about this? And to be honest, it's a lot of food. So mine, oh, that was something I was going to tell you. So like a sample meal plan for me for my 1,700 calories. I'm going to take this off the heat because I'm going to end up burning it. So like in the morning I might have 2 eggs scrambled up with about a cup of veggies, you know, some cheese, like that's quite a bit of cheese, right? With some cheese in a tortilla, okay? And then I might have for a snack, so I use this like superfood shake, so I might have that with some fruit blended in or fruit on the side. It kind of keeps me going when I'm teaching. It's like the perfect, like, just down it really fast. Lunch, I like to do salads for lunch. It's just so fast and easy. I get this really good like salad kit. So I do like a lunch or a salad with some chicken. You know, oftentimes my snacks are like apples with peanut butter or whatever, things like that. Dinner, really anything. I mean, you can have like some steak with a whole wheat biscuit and you know, a side of veggies, or there's so many different things you can do. I've done stews, I've done chilies, I've done like, you name it. And the other really cool thing is with this, there's recipes in this book. There's a whole recipe book, and then actually with the workout program streaming thing, there's actually a cooking show with a professional chef, and all of those recipes are online. And my daughter doesn't like anything. Like, she doesn't eat anything. She hates it all. And she likes like the majority of the stuff I've made from that, which is cool too. So like, and it tells you how many containers it is. So if you don't even want to measure out your own recipes, you can just use theirs, and it's awesome. And they have all sorts of comfort foods like mac and cheese and stuff like that of how to do it. Anyway, so tell me hi when you come on here, and let me know that you saw it, and let me know, what do you think is the coolest thing about the system. I'm going to finish making my lunch because I'm really hungry, and I have to go get my kids from the bus stop. I hope you have an awesome day. Happy Thursday. I think it's Thursday. And I'll talk to you guys later.